Hello everyone. You might notice things look a little bit different. You're looking down on me instead of across at me. That's because I reorganized everything on my computer desk and moved my computer tower onto the floor and moved my monitor up where the tower was. And I like this a whole lot better. So hopefully you guys are okay with this. This is the daily devotional video for Saturday, February 18th, 2017. Our passage for today is in the book of Daniel, which is in the Old Testament, and we're reading basically the entire chapter. There's 21 verses, and we're reading 1 through 20. So we're stopping at verse 20. So we're reading almost the entire chapter, first chapter of Daniel. Okay. All right, here we go. In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with some of the articles of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar, to the house of his God, and he brought the articles into the treasure house of his God. Then the king instructed Ashpenaz, I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry guys. Then the king instructed Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, to bring some of the children of Israel, and some of the king's descendants, and some of the nobles, young men in whom there was no blemish, but good-looking, gifted in all wisdom, possessing knowledge, and quick to understand, who had ability to serve in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the language and literature of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed for them a daily provision of the king's delicacies and of the wine which he drank, and 3 years of training for them, so that at the end of that time they might serve before the king. Now from among those of the sons of Judah were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. To them the chief of the eunuchs gave names. He gave Daniel the name Belteshazzar, to Hananiah Shadrach, to Mishael Meshach, and to Azariah Abednego. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's delicacies, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the chief of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Now God had brought Daniel into the favor and goodwill of the chief of the eunuchs. And the chief of the eunuchs said to Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who has appointed your food and drink. For why should he see your faces looking worse than the young men who are your age? Then you would endanger my head before the king. So this guy basically saying, if you don't eat the food and drink the wine that the king provides, then you're not going to be looking as well, as happy, whatever, as the other men that are with you trying and training to serve the king. And if he sees you looking like that, he's going to blame me and assume I had something to do with it and kill me. So why are you trying to endanger my life because you don't want to eat and drink for the king's offering? So Daniel said to the steward, whom the chief of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, please test your servants for 10 days and let them give us vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenances be examined before you, and the countenances of the young men who eat the portion of the king's delicacies, and as you see fit, so deal with your servants. I love that. Daniel saying, okay, here's the deal. You give us only vegetables and water, and we'll just eat that for 10 days. We'll eat vegetables, drink water for 10 days, and then you compare us to the other men who are eating what the king provides, and then you do whatever you see is best. So he consented with them in this matter and tested them for 10 days. And at the end of the 10 days, their countenance appeared better and fatter in flesh than all the young men who ate the portion of the king's delicacies. Sorry, guys, I have to get a drink. Thus the steward took away their portion of delicacies and the wine that they were to drink, and gave them all vegetables. As for these 4 young men, God gave them knowledge and skill in all literature and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Now at the end of the days, when the king had said that they should be brought in, the chief of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. Then the king interviewed them, and among them all, none was found like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore they served before the king. And in all matters of wisdom and understanding about which the king examined them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers who were in all his realm. That's an awesome story, guys. It's an awesome story. Title for today's devotional is Unshakable Faith. Daniel had unshakable faith. His trust in the Lord sustained him when he was uprooted from his home, taken into captivity, and sent to a foreign country. It strengthened him as he served under several kings and faced many challenges. Knowing God and trusting Him are the 2 key elements of deep faith. Daniel, who was part of the Israelite nobility, apparently learned about the Lord from a young age. While he was in captivity, his words and actions demonstrated that he knew the scriptures and wanted to obey God. When offered a meal that was incompatible with the dietary laws, he took a great risk by requesting other food. In verse 9 of today's passage, we see that God caused the official to show favor to him. Like Daniel, we are to spend our lives learning and carrying out what pleases our Heavenly Father. Reference here to Colossians 1:10. Not only did this young man know what the scriptures said, but he also trusted the Lord to do as he had promised. Every time Daniel took a stand for godliness, he was demonstrating his confidence in the Heavenly Father. And his friends, who the king renamed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, had unwavering faith as well. They did not know for sure that the Lord would rescue them from the fiery furnace, but they believed he could and trusted that he'd do what was right. Reference there to Daniel chapter 3, verses 16 through 18. Barriers to unshakable faith include pride, like I won't admit I need God's help. Arrogance, like I know a better way, I don't have to ask God. And self-sufficiency, I can do it myself without God's help. Which of these barriers to faith is keeping you from becoming a person of strong faith? Confess it and turn towards the Lord. That is a powerful devotional. Wow. I love you guys. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Hope you have a great weekend. And I will see you guys back here again tomorrow.